this was a cool story. I'm glad you're sick, Ian, in general. But no, I'm glad you were sick because we would never have talked about this if we recorded this the day we were originally supposed to. Because I didn't know this got leaked online. Now, some videos and cutscenes of this game have been leaked before, but never the entire game by our Russian hacker, good old Russian hackers. Warcraft Adventures, Lord of the Clans, was leaked online for download and mostly complete, including cutscenes, intro.
No, from what I heard, the actual playable build is missing the cutscenes. But
okay. Well, then maybe
the cutscenes are there.
Well, you can put them in. Someone will be probably ingenious enough to fucking splice them in. But the point is that this is playable. There's a long play online. It's like 2.5 hours. Yep. I remember this being advertised and seeing this. I don't remember where. I'm not going to lie and pretend I remember where, but I do remember seeing at least images of this. Mm-hmm. I don't know if it was GamePro or PC Gamer in the late 90s.
PC Gamer.
But this was supposed to come out, I believe, in 98, about. I think originally made in 97. So this is like, remember, Warcraft 2 came out about 95, 96. And so that was a huge fucking game.
Really that long ago?
Yeah, we're old. And then you had the expansion pack, and then this was going to follow on that success. So this is going to be a point-and-click adventure game. Very similar style as something like Full Throttle, sort of LucasArts style, where you're mostly contained in one environment, and then the game doesn't allow you to die, it looks like, which is different from like the Sierra style where you could die.
Yeah, even Sierra, I think, started adopting towards the end, but certainly
like Monkey Island, they would start adopting.
But a lot of the adventure games towards the end, towards the 90s, I think, to try to make them appeal to more gamers, eliminated the random stupid deaths.
So like the LucasArts games, this was hand-drawn.
The animation looked nice, actually.
Animation looked pretty good. It was actually the same team that did like those CDI Zelda games. That's why, if you notice, sort of that same sort of style. It looks very similar.
It does, but a bit better.
Well, they had
Blizzard had a little bit more money to throw.
But it's the same style.
Sure.
When you look at it.
For sure.
So the story is that it's an orc that's really
it's Thrall.
Really, yeah, Thrall was what I guess one of the I don't remember the fucking story at all, but Thrall's a fucking main character in this. But graphic violence in this, by the way, which we'll get into. Graphic fucking violence for a point-and-click adventure game. They kill humans, find a bunch of orcs. They kill them off, and there's a little baby. And they take home the baby, raise it as a slave, and then in the game, this orc escapes. Voiced by Clancy Brown. At first, it's like, that sounds like Clancy Brown. It was Clancy Brown, which is funny because
he plays
Black Hands in the movie.
Yep.
Voices Black. So very interesting. Clancy Brown fucking rules. Anyway, so this is very much in the style of, like we said, those mid to late 90s point-and-click games. What's interesting is that if you look at it, if you remember those first two Warcraft games, they're very tongue-in-cheek. There is a good amount of humor to those games, which carries over into here, which is shocking just because of the violence in this game. Like I said, you see, it's off-screen, but you see blood. You see an orc getting its throat slashed by a human. You see an orc dead with an arrow through its head with blood.
Yeah.
I mean, this is some graphic shit.
Yeah, there's a part where you're picking a shield off of an orc and his face is slashed, or what it was? Maybe it was an arrow.
An arrow or spear. It was a spear in his head. So I watched about the first hour of gameplay, and it wasn't all violent, but it's in there. It's like it weaves itself in there and throughout.
I think they advertised it even as like, or they were going to, as like black humor, which is
it is
kind of
to an extent. But I from what I saw, it wasn't really dark comedy. It was just uneven tone.
Yes,
it go wildly from, oh, that's funny, puns and stuff, choking the chicken and stuff, and then there's a fucking dead orc.
Flat shitty humor and then death.
Which might be a hint about why they canceled a game that was just about complete. Because it really is not a great game.
Mm-mm.
I don't think even for the time it probably would have been. I think it would have done okay for the time, but since adventure games like this were dying out in the late 90s by this time, I don't think it would have sold extremely well. I think it would have got, maybe not Pam would be like, okay, it's just a game. It's just there. You know, like, who cares? You know, like, would fans of Warcraft 2 have bought it? Maybe some, but I think most would have stayed away from it.
Well, I think another big thing is as you watch it, it was obviously weirdly slapstick in how they dealt with some of the bigger villains that I only know tangentially from people who have played World of Warcraft, but villains that played huge roles in the MMO and in current modern lore of Warcraft, who are dealt with and killed in this game in very slapstick and comedic ways, like a certain dragon, Deathwing, Darkwing, or whatever. That's literally
the flyers.
It's a big black dragon that's literally killed in this game later on in like 2 hours in, I think.
I didn't get that far.
Get I was skipping through and I watched like the part because it was noted. Like you literally get swallowed by the dragon, and this is a dragon that in one of the expansions that like lays waste to the in World of Warcraft, like lays waste to like the whole countryside and is like a big badass. In this game, if this were to be canon, you get swallowed by it and you pinch off its fire breathing gland with like a clamp and it coughs you out and you kill it.
Okay.
I think they may have looked at what they wanted to do with the future of it and looked at what they were doing with this game and been like, yeah, I don't know that this is really going to gel with what we have in store.
So we have a production where it obviously got greenlit. Obviously, this is a game that was probably, like I said, done tons of animation. I feel so bad for the animators.
Because this was basically complete product.
All the voice acting, all the puzzles, it's there. They could put this out today, just intersplice the cutscenes with it.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden, you have the production team saying, "Well, maybe this is too slapstick, and this isn't what, like you said, the future of our franchise." I mean, I'm not sure that they knew they were doing World of Warcraft yet,
right?
But they knew they wanted to do something with it, and maybe have it a little more serious. Like I said, this isn't to me dark comedy. Like I said, this is just uneven tone,
right,
all over the place. And even Warcraft 2 and 1, while there were humorous elements, it was still a somewhat serious game in that you were fighting for human survival in Warcraft 2 after you're losing in Warcraft 1. It was just that it was sprinkled in with humor, while this is just, what the fuck is this? So this brings us to another conversation. So Blizzard's obviously trying to get this taken down everywhere, DMCAing it and whatever. They didn't want this released for obvious reasons. They didn't like the quality of the game, even though it was finished. Everyone was paid. Do they owe it to anyone to have this released, or to let this exist, being that they have this done? Being that this is so old and that this is a part of a historic franchise property, who do you side with if you're going to side with someone? Does this deserve to see the light of day and be preserved for everyone to play? I mean, now that it's out there, it's going to be out there forever. But I mean, or is it their property? They should have said, okay, I want to see this garbage. Let's fucking destroy it, like they did with their fucking the Fantastic Four Roger Corman version or whatever, where they bought it and destroyed it. And now it's only in bad VHS form.
I'm kind of big on game preservation, so I believe that it should be preserved.
Which it probably is back at whatever Blizzard's warehouse somewhere. It's not like they destroyed everything with it.
No, I believe it should be out there. I mean, they don't have to recognize it. They don't have to recognize it as canon. I just don't believe that anything should be destroyed that many people put, obviously that much time into. This isn't a 10-minute, 20-minute proof of concept. This is something that someone was able to make a 2.5-hour long play out of. So that's kind of where I stand on it. I'm not saying Blizzard has to recognize it. I'm not saying that they need to.
They have to protect their obviously their IPs and their copyright, though.
Sure.
So maybe the best approach would be to put this out, maybe not as its own standalone game, but maybe as I don't know, they can probably sell it on Steam for $10 and they'll sell 1 million of them because people will be interested in seeing it. But just do something with it at some point. Put it as an extra on, I don't know, is this the 20th anniversary of Warcraft 2 this year?
Give it a stupid name like the Ultimates or like what DC did. Just
the Ultimates.
A fucking different name, like a different world, just so people don't take it as fucking canon.
Yeah, because when this came out, there wasn't like the huge lore there is now, and all people take it so seriously.
Yeah, exactly. So just fucking put it out there, something stupid.
Put it on Steam then.
Oh, a what if, like a Marvel what if or something like that.
Sure.
If it's out there, they might as well make their money off of it.
That is true. Maybe they're planning on doing that. We don't know. But yeah, okay. So you can see the cutscenes are online, and then you have. This person in the long play even went through making sure he looked at everything to hear all Clancy Brown's. Basically almost every iteration you could have, looking at everything and trying to touch.
Yeah, it got a little tiring when he went through every no possibility.
That's preserving it, the different
It is,
voice
I
actors
understand.
to some extent. Damn, I love Clancy Brown. You know, this is the 20th anniversary of Highlander this year. Like, I think it's like next month already. Where's that fucking special edition? Well, they lost the lost footage. It's literally lost. It burned up. What I was talking about? Highlander rules? Oh, yeah, we'll do a Highlander podcast topic next month.